everybody. Welcome to the Sales on Demand Show. This is episode 80, the big 80. We've reached the octogenarian phase of the Sales on Demand Show podcast. You can find the podcast on iTunes, Google, whatever Google uses for their podcast, YouTube, Spotify, and at the website salesondemandshow.com. So today we're going to talk about quarter four. So I know it's not quite yet October 1st, but quarter four has entered the game. By the time the next episode is going to be released, it will be quarter four, and this is where everything that you've been building up for this year, all of the anxiety and the joy and everything is going to be culminating in quarter four, and it's going to fly by, but it's also going to feel like it's a million years. So, yeah. So for me, I have exactly 2 work days left, and I feel kind of a mix of emotions. Obviously, I'm joyful. I'm really anticipating this. This is something I've been building up for a couple months now. It's funny how the year began and I thought my life was going to go one way and everything changed. Literally, everything changed. And who I am going to be for the rest of my life is not what I thought it was going to be. But in many ways, it's better. But I also feel a bit of anxiety because I've just been locked into this sort of employment mindset for such a long time that it's going to be an adjustment to leave that. How do I spend my days? What do I do? How do I prioritize things? How do I plan my days? Crazy. So I'm also trying not to get sucked into all these cultural battles raging on around me. Semi-successful in that one. I just read that Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says that Thanksgiving is not going to be normal this year because I don't remember asking the government whether I can practice Thanksgiving or do Thanksgiving the way that I normally do, and I still don't think these people, these governments, they have come to the conclusion that everything that happens on planet Earth goes on with their consent and that they can just withdraw consent. Be like, okay, no, we're not doing Halloween this year, people, because COVID. That's not how it works. I'm not asking the government whether I can go see my family for Thanksgiving. I'm going to go see my family for Thanksgiving. And that's just the way it is. I don't care what these politicians think. I am going to live my life. I'm done with this. And honestly, I think most people feel the same way. I'm not trying to tell you don't wear a mask and reject everything, but I mean some of these government mandates have gone far beyond the actual authority, even the pretend authority that governments claim to have over our lives. They've gone into literally, structuring your day, as if we all joined the army or something like that. And, when you're in the military, obviously the army owns you 24 hours a day if you're full-time. So, no, you don't own my life, you don't own my time. And you people in Australia, I think you guys just need to reject this. I've been seeing lots of protesting and, anyway, I'm not going to get into that too much. So, I'm trying to avoid just getting too involved in this because it is a mental drain, and I just don't need that. It's not benefiting me to get worked up about this. It's not benefiting you. And there's just a lot of good things to love about this year rather than, fussing over these other things. So, let's talk about what is selling. Well, everything is selling. I have noticed, and this is nice. Amazon was a little quiet this summer. That I expected that because it's just they're still prioritizing shipments of sanitizer and household goods. So the things that I'm shipping out are not going to be shipping as fast, but sales are going up across the board. I'm noticing that. This has been a good week for me. And there's something called Prime Day in October. Normally they do Prime Day in the summer, but it's on October. So Prime Day is kind of like Amazon's like general sales day. Everybody's supposed to put a sale on, but it just basically what it is you just get a few more sales on Prime Day. So I guess there's a Prime Day in October. Usually that just means a little bit more money for me. So looking forward to that. So hey, did you guys know that you can get a free video and weekly tips when you join my email list? Also, there's going to be information that I'm not releasing on the podcast. So this week's email is going to include how to sell face masks on Amazon. I have shared some information about that before, but I am selling face masks on Amazon, print-on-demand face masks, and they sell quite well. Amazon has not closed my listings because I am following a certain few rules that I can't share with you right here, but they will be in my email list. So if you want to join up on that list, there's a couple of links. So first, if you don't know anything about print-on-demand, you should go to salesondemandshow.com/start, START. That'll get you started. If you want to know more about the course that I just launched, you're going to go to salesondemandshow.com/AZ. The letter A, the letter Z, no spaces. And if you sign up for that email list, you get the discount code that's going to give you $300 off the training program that I've put out. I decided I'm going to let that discount go till the end of September. The course is $500, but you can get it for $197 with that discount code. So salesondemandshow.com/AZ for that. So today I want to talk about my Q4 plan and some of the specific things that I'm doing that I think are going to bring me the most benefit. So this is a vision casting podcast in many regards. One of the things that is important for people, entrepreneurs, is that you need to build a vision for the future. Living day by day, not a good idea for entrepreneurs. That might be fine if you're living in the desert and eating grasshoppers. Yeah, living day by day is kind of just the thing that you can do there. But there's no real money in that, so I don't recommend it. You need a vision. You need to know where you're going. And this is important because if you're not scaling your business is going to shrink gradually over time. This is not, I know people have talked about passive income. I don't see this as being passive income. I see this as being easy income, but it's not necessarily passive. It is highly scalable, though, which is to say that you can easily increase your income with less work than you would need to do if you're at a job. The job that I'm leaving, I have a salary. So it's a salaried job, and I cannot increase my income with that job so much as $5. I get paid what I get paid. And that's fine. If you like a regular paycheck, then having a job where you just make the same amount of money might make sense to you. But I just don't see that as being my future. I want to be able to work harder and make more money from that extra work. And this is the only way that I can think of for me to do this. So I am sitting down and creating a plan of specific things that I'm going to do. So the first one of these specific things is I'm going to build 100 customized listings on Etsy. So I'm not talking about generic things like a lot of people will sit down and they'll say, oh, I want to get to $50,000 in sales. That's not a goal. That's like a revenue goal, but that doesn't tell you how you're going to get there. So specific steps are things like, okay, you need 100 new listings every week, or 50 new listings every week. So the goal is where you want to be. The steps are how you get there, and you need the steps. It's useless for you to say, I want to get here, without planning out each step and how you're going to make that happen. So this is how I'm going to make that happen, right? So I've shared with you guys, I want to build a new Etsy store to 50,000 listings. Oh, I should actually tell you about my new Etsy store. So part of my training program is I wanted to open up a second Etsy shop, which is something that Etsy does allow. And tons of people that I know have done this. I know somebody who has like 5 Etsy stores. So I thought this was going to be just easy. Like, okay, open up the new store, use a different email, use a different bank account, whatever. I didn't think it was going to be a big deal. I thought maybe Etsy would email me and, say, oh, it looks like you opened up a second store. Make sure you're following the rules or something like that. So I opened up the store and I even recorded, screen capture recorded all of the steps that you need to go through to do that. And that was all good and fine, and that's going to be part of the training program. But Etsy immediately closed my second store. And the only reason that I know that they closed it is because I tried to log in, and it says, the store associated with this email has been closed. They don't send you an email about it, they just close it. So this is one of the things that Etsy is kind of apparently famous for, but it's never happened to me. I figured it would be fairly simple. I was wrong. So this is a tiny setback, but now I get to show you guys how to fix this problem. So I have sent an email to integrity@etsy.com, and I've also opened up a help desk ticket on my main store, which is still open, and I'm still selling on Etsy, on my main store. They just closed my second store, where I had 1 listing. No reply yet. It's been 4 days, so apparently it can take a while for Etsy to respond to these kinds of things, and that's very strange, because I've always thought of Etsy as being more seller-focused, rather than just customer-focused, kind of like Amazon is. Like, Amazon is really, really, really customer-focused. Like, if you're a seller, you follow their rules, or you can just jump off a cliff. That's basically how Amazon feels about their rules. They don't care about you as a seller as much as they care about how you build their brand, right? On the other hand, Amazon is pretty responsive. If you send them an email, they'll usually respond the same day, maybe the next day. And like, if you have an issue, I've never had an issue on Amazon that I wasn't able to fix within like 48 hours, basically. You might have to, go back and forth with an rep a few times to get like a real straight answer, and not some kind of cut and paste, stupid response. But you can always get something from them. On the other hand, Etsy is just like nothing. No response, like no reply, no warnings, just like boom, shut down. So that's really strange because, like I said, Etsy always seems a little more friendly to sellers. They want sellers to feel confident about selling on Etsy because a lot of people have built like a full-time living doing this. And, that's kind of important if you want people to continue to sell on your platform, to respond to them when they need you. Some of these sellers are making Etsy like a lot of money, so you'd think that they would be just a little bit more responsive, but I guess not. So I'm still waiting, and as soon as I hear back, I'll let you know how it goes. I am confident that I will hear back, and if I don't hear back within a week, I'm gonna find some way to contact them that isn't one I've already used. So, yeah, that's the plan. But it's just annoying. So, yeah, getting into my 2020 Q4 plan. So, as I already said, I'm going to build 100 customized listings on Etsy. And I'm going to use mostly the free method of research that I have shown people how to do and I've talked about on the podcast, which is to go basically search on Etsy and just see what's selling already. And there's a couple of tricks that you make that more effective, and you can go back and look at one of my prior episodes for more information on that. Now, those 100 customized listings were supposed to go on my new store, so I'm going to be putting them on my current store. And then once I get the new store open, I'm going to move them over. it was meant to be just a customization store. So, yeah. Anyway, second goal is to get to 50 FBA listings on Amazon. So I want to have 50 different products that I'm sending stock, like actual boxes of mugs, to Amazon for them to sell. And I want 50 of these. So I've got I've taken a few down that weren't selling very well. And I've got a few that were like Trump related, so I'm not selling those because I don't know if Trump's going to be the president, and I'm not going to send coffee mugs that have Trump's image on it if in like a month and some he's not going to be the president. So yeah, I'm going to be building more of these FBA listings on Amazon, and I also have a strategy for that is covered in other episodes. So yes, 50 FBA listings, and basically I'd like to double how many sales I make with fulfillment by Amazon by the end of the year. So of course I want to get my second Etsy store open, talked about that already, and I want to start building this podcast out with some Facebook ads. So I'm sort of brainstorming strategies on how to make the most out of Facebook ads. I'm pretty good at Facebook ads. I've made money with them, but it's not something I do on a daily basis, so it's one of those things that I've got to sit down and sort of plan a strategy around it. But I would like to quadruple the number of listeners to this podcast. So, also in 2020, I want to spend 10% of my time doing what they used to call sharpening the saw. Okay, so basically I want to spend 10% of my time learning and refining the skills that I already have. So 10% of my time I'm going to spend listening to podcasts or reading books or, getting on webinars with people and absorbing what they have to say about this or that. And I need to be spending more time doing that, because if you're always cutting down trees and you're never sharpening your saw, okay, this is an analogy, then you're going to spend more time cutting down trees than you need to, right? You need to spend at least 10% of your time learning. So for you guys, you are literally doing that right now, okay? You're sitting and listening to a podcast. Maybe you're doing something else at the same time, but you're still sharpening your skills and learning new concepts, or maybe reinforcing things you already know. Maybe while you're listening to my voice, you're planning your own strategies for 2020. Maybe you're pausing the podcast and you're like going to find a pen and paper and write some stuff down because you've had inspiration. That's sharpening the saw, right? You're getting better at what you do so that you spend less time doing it and get the same effect from it. So that's it for 2020. I don't see any way that I'm going to have any more time to do anything else. Before I thought maybe I'd be able to hire somebody this year. I don't think that I'm going to be able to hire somebody this year. I do need to hire somebody eventually, but it's probably going to be in 2021. So basically getting through 2020 is the crux of my plan. But not just getting through, is maximizing what I've already built on so that I can make more money with the same amount of resources. So let's talk about 2021. I know that we have this mindset of 2020 is going to last forever, but it's really not. Eventually it's going to end. And as much as I hate to say this word, I wish to burn this word to the ground, but the new normal, right? Everybody's heard this new normal. Well, I'm going to use this word in a better context, okay? The new normal is that more people are going to be shopping online. And that's a good new normal for us. We want that. We like that. So more people shopping online means more opportunity for you to sell to those people. You need to plan for this going forward. So in 2021, my goals are I want to reach 20 hours a week coaching people. I still haven't had any coaching students yet, and I really would like to get moving on that because I'm going to enjoy doing that. I like talking to people one-on-one. It's really something I like, and I want to build up to about half of my time every week doing that. I would like to reach 500 students in my personal training program. Right now, I've hit double digits, which is good because, my audience is pretty small right now. Got maybe 500 listeners to the show, and the email list that I've started, that is at salesatdemandshow.com/start. I've got like 30 people on it. So the fact that a third of those people have signed up to learn from me is great. It tells me that there's a lot of demand out there, and I just need to reach more people. So in doing that, I need to be able to get 2,000 downloads per episode, and that's my goal for 2021. So I'm going to have to spend some money to get there. So far, everything that I've done so far, I haven't spent a nickel on any kind of promotion. I really haven't done like any cross promotion with other podcasts. I haven't gone in any major shows. I've just been relying on organic search traffic. And it's brought me this far. So that's good, but it's kind of plateaued a bit, and I need to do something else. So I'm just going to do whatever I can to make that happen. I also want to be able to surpass 10,000 in average monthly sales by April. So that's a goal for my personal business, for the print on demand, to pass 10,000 in average monthly sales by April. So I'm going to need to increase my sales, my non-Christmas, non-holiday sales. I'm going to need to about double my sales to reach that goal. Very doable. Also, I am thinking about this, and I can't stop thinking about this because I once attended an InPerson conference, and I got to tell you, it made a huge difference for me in this business. So, Don Wilson, the owner, founder of GearBubble.com, the website that I use as my main supplier for my print-on-demand products, he hosted a conference that he called Start, Sustain, and Scale in Las Vegas in 2018, we're coming up on 2 years since that happened. And I got to tell you, it was a game changer for me because I'd only been doing print on demand for about a year and a half at that point, and I knew enough, but I didn't know as much as I wanted to. And so meeting all of these people, I got to meet Don Wilson, I got to meet Rachel Raffay. These people became my mentors, and I mean they are friends of mine now. And I look at what they're doing, and I find myself more motivated to work harder and spend more time doing this, spend more mental energy doing this. It really did make a difference, and I want to host an in-person conference. I don't know anyone else who wants to do this, but I want to do it. It made a huge difference for me, and it was a lot of fun. You get to meet all kinds of cool people, get to eat a bunch of food, go and, just do some activities or something like that. And man, I would love to do it. And you know what? If we do it in Las Vegas, then it's pretty cheap to fly there, so it's kind of an adventure. Also in 2020, I would like to build up my YouTube presence. There is a significant amount of free organic traffic to be had from YouTube, and I just kind of need to work on developing how I would craft some videos, but I would like to build up a YouTube presence so you guys will be able to go and watch some videos that I can actually show you not just my pretty balding face, but also you get to see like screen capture videos of me doing some of the things that I talk about. That's the limitation of a podcast. You can't see what I'm doing, so you have to kind of imagine it. But going forward, I want it so you don't have to imagine it. You can actually see it. So that's something I'm going to be looking at doing in 2021, depending on how things go in 2020. And the last thing, of course, is that I have tasks that I am currently doing right now that I want to pass off to somebody. And this is the way to scale your business, like big time, is hiring somebody. So I have done this before, and I'm going to do it again. I'm going to hire somebody to do probably a bunch of different tasks, probably the uploading of products and listing them on Amazon, and maybe working on some of my Etsy store things using a program called Get Vela, which I don't want to give anybody my Etsy login, but I want them to have access to do some things, and Get Vela is one of those programs that can do that. Yeah, that's it. That's probably going to do it for 2021. If I have some time in 2021, I'd also like to open up a few more Amazon accounts. So I'd like to open up an Amazon account in Australia and one in Japan, and just start doing some private label, non-print on demand stuff with that. Amazon is a huge platform. It's growing in many countries. It's not quite saturation in the United States, but it's getting closer there. On the other hand, in Australia, Canada, all over these smaller countries, there's still tremendous amounts of opportunity to sell on Amazon. And I'm talking just ordinary products like, phone chargers and stuff like that. So I want to start building that, because I don't want to be relying on the United States more than I am now. If something happens in the U.S., I want to have other income streams that can take over and, provide enough of an income for me that I don't starve to death. Or, have to cut back on spending. I need 1,500 calories a day, man, but I don't want to have to live on that. If I can have 2,000 or 2,500 and, have a few cars, that would be super. So that is it. That is my vision for the next few years, or year and a half, if you will. And hopefully you guys are somewhere near a notepad and a pen. And if you are, grab those suckers and start writing down the things that you want to do for 2020. And then keep going. Put down 2021. And not just, I want to make so much money. Okay, so that's a goal, but you need steps to get there. So write down the steps that you need, specific steps. And if you have to, get really granular. So if you have to say between 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock on Thursday, I'm going to sit in front of my computer and create designs, then do that, right? The more specific you get with these steps, the more likely you are to actually follow through with those steps. For me, it's easy. I'm always in front of my computer when I'm not doing something else. So I just put down the number of things that I want to do, and then I just get them done. But if you have another job, or you have kids, and you have other distractions, you're going to need to get very specific about the steps and then follow through with them. And if you have to, put sticky notes over your eyelids to remind you to do these things, then do what you got to do, man. I believe in you. All right, that's it, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. You know what? Leave me a review. I don't think I have any reviews on iTunes, so I would love a few. And if you like the show, leave me a 5-star review. If you hate me and you want me to die, just maybe don't leave a review at all. Maybe just don't listen to the podcast, and we'll be good. All right, guys. See you next week. Cheers.